Percent change, calculating percent change. So remember, percent we think of it per 100 because the percent symbol looks like a 100. But now we're going to look at percent change using this formula. So new minus old, or sometimes old minus new, basically just the change divided by the old, whatever you started with, times by 100 because percent, and that equals your percent change. So we can divide both sides by 100. That gives us this. All right. So the 100 disappears from the left, and now on the right, it's a percent change, but it's the decimal version. Now we multiply both sides by the old, and we get this. Then we add the old to both sides. So on the left, the negative old plus an old, the old disappears. Now we're adding the old to the other side as well. And now we factor out an old on the right side, and we get a formula that looks like this. And then we're just going to switch sides. So the left side goes to the right, and the right side goes to the left, and we get this formula. The old price times the percent change as a decimal plus 1 is going to equal the new price or new quantity. So that's what we're going to use to do these problems, is this formula. So we are going to find the new after it is increased. So a jacket originally cost $50, but the price increases by 20%. What is the new price? So we take this, we write it down. Now we're going to substitute in the old price, which is 50. Then we're going to substitute in the decimal version of the percent increase. 20% is 0.2, so we substitute that in. And now we just do the math. We add 1 plus 0.2 in the parentheses, and then we multiply the brackets, and we get 60 equals the new. So our new price is $60. That's when a jacket costing $50 is increased by 20%. Now let's find the old price when you're given the new and the percent. So after a 15% increase, the price of a bicycle is now $345. What was the original price? So we're just going to substitute in the values that we know and find the value that we're not given. So substitute in the new price. The new price was $345. Then we substitute in the decimal version of the percent. 15% is 0.15. We add what's in the parentheses. Then we divide both sides by 1.15. And we get the old is 300. So the old price was $300. Now you should always check your answer. So take that $300, increase it by 15%, and see if you get 345. Now, how do we find the percent increase when you're given the new price and the old price? So we use the same formula. The price of a concert ticket increased from $80 to $100. What was the percent increase? So we substitute in the new price, which is 100. We substitute in the old price, which is 80. And now we divide both sides by 80. So the 80 cancels on the left side, and we're left with just what was in the parentheses. On the right side, we have 1.2. Now we can subtract 1 from both sides. So the 1 disappears on the left, and on the right you're left with just 0.2. And that is the decimal version of the percent. So how do we convert a decimal to a percent? Multiply by 100, and we get 20%. So that was a 20% increase. Now, what about when it's a percent decrease? Everything's the same, except it's not 1 plus the percent increase, it's 1 minus the percent decrease. So a pair of shoes originally cost $80, but the price decreases by 25% during the sale. What is the new price? Using the formula, we'll substitute in the old price, which is $80. Then we substitute in the decimal version of the percent decrease. 25% is 0.25. Then we do the subtraction in the parentheses, 1 minus 0.25. Then we multiply the brackets, and we get 60 is the new. So $60 is the new price of the shoes after the 25% decrease. What if we're looking for the old price? Same formula. After a 30% decrease, the price of a tablet is now $280. What was the original price? So we know the new price, so we substitute that in. We know the percent decrease. It's 0.3 as a decimal, so we substitute that in. Now we do the subtraction in the brackets, gives us 0.7. Then we need to divide both sides by 0.7. When we do that, we get old equals 400. So the original price was $400. What if we're looking for the percent decrease? The price of a gym membership dropped from $120 to $90. What is the percent decrease? So we know the new price, so we substitute that in, $90. We know the old price, which is $120, so we substitute that in. Now we're looking for the percent change. We will divide both sides by 120. So on the left side, the 120 disappears and we're left with what's in the brackets. On the right side, 90 divided by 120 is 0.75. Now we need to subtract 1 from both sides. So subtracting a 1 from the left, the 1 disappears and we're left with the negative percent change as a decimal. And on the right, 0.75 minus 1 is negative 0.25. Because both the left and the right side are negative, we're now going to multiply both sides by -1, and we get the percent change as a decimal is equal to 0.25. So it's a 25% decrease. So that was quick. You can go back and review, but here are some practice problems to try. Pause the video, try the problems, and then you'll see the answer. Okay, I hope you tried. Here are the answers. I hope that was helpful in learning how to use percent change, and thank you.